Here we are in a rainy UK, and as you can see I grow elder in my garden in the back and front. The birds like to nest in it, the wood pigeons love it. I think they eat the young leaves. Of course they also eat the elder berries, but I'm after some of the flowers. It's perfect for birds to nest in, providing they choose a safe place right in the centre of it. It has lots of crossing branches that birds love to make nests in. Of course magpies go looking for them, but you know, that's nature. Raining today, there's a big storm. It was very sunny yesterday, so I picked a load of elderflower heads, about 20 or 30. They're just ready about now in the UK. And what am I going to do with them? Well, I'm going to use them together with my rhubarb, because there's loads of that, and some lemons from the supermarket, a bit of sugar, and make myself a zesty summer drink. Start off, get your elderflower. You're going to have to remove the heads. I left these overnight with the bag open for all the creepy crawlies to go out. I'm going to be putting them into a big plastic bowl. Okay, then I want the zest from my lemons. These were the cheaper ones, they came waxed, so I've washed them to try and remove as much as I can of the wax. I'm just going to use a grater. You could use the proper tool if you like, but I'm just going to grate them using a fine grater. Put the zest on top of the flower heads, okay, then slice the lemons and put them on top of the flower heads. And then next I'll show you what I do next. Put them all into this bowl here. There's a bit of greens with them. It doesn't matter, you'll find out later why there's still some greens with them. Got my lemon zest there, and the idea is you just tip your lemon zest straight in there with the flowers. Okay, then next I'm going to have to chop up these 3 lemons and put them in with them as well. Okay, so there's your sliced lemons. The lemon zest is also there with your elderflower already. The next bit, I'm going to have to boil up some water and start to work on the rhubarb. As the water boils, I'll just talk you through my new collection of rhubarb grown from seed. I've got some Glaskins perpetuals. These seeds were sown on the 14th of April, and they're just kept in compost. And on the same date as well, I put in some champagne rhubarb from seed. They seem okay. The date today now is the 7th of June. And this is some Victoria, named after Queen Victoria. So these are all grown from seed. And these are to augment my collection of rhubarb down at the allotment. I've had a go at some others, including some seeds from rhubarb that's already down there, which is a mixture of Timperley Early and red champagne and some others as well. Now my rhubarb is still quite early. So anyway, I've taken about half a dozen stalks, and I'm going to slice the very ends, very tips off of them, because they've dried out a bit overnight. And then I'm going to slice this, put this straight in. I've got boiling water from one kettle. It's about 1.7 litres. And I'm only going to add 250 grams of sugar. You can add 500 if you want. And get it gently on the boil. So as I said, I'm going to be adding around 250 grams of sugar to these stalks. I've got about half a dozen. They're not really long stalks of rhubarb, but I've just cut off the raggedy ends and sliced them. And this water is boiling. I'm just leaving them to soak in the boiled water for a few minutes. It's not on the gas hob yet until I add the sugar, and then I'll gently stir and keep it simmering and boiling. Your rhubarb with the sugar, I added 250 grams. You might want to add 500, but I'm cutting down on sugar. Needs to have a good old simmer and boil. Keep an eye on it for a good 15-20 minutes. I mean, I've got about 5 minutes left on the clock, and as you can see, it's really starting to break down that rhubarb, and that's what you want. You really want to break it down for this drink. And this will be going on top of the flower heads, lemon and lemon zest. After 20 minutes of this rhubarb been boiling, and I added it to boiling water at the start, remember, with the sugar, you can see it's probably not going to break down anymore. It's time to take it off the boil. Then you just pour it over your lemons, lemon zest and your elderflowers, stir it in and put a cover on top of it. I'm going to put cling film on top of mine and leave it for 24 hours. Then you're supposed to strain it. I'm going to strain mine through a muslin square. And basically I will then clean, sterilise some bottles. You could use jars if you haven't got bottles. It depends on what space you've got left in your fridge. And it needs refrigerating, and it needs to be left to cool before you put it in the fridge, of course. And it should keep for a few weeks. Enjoy for the summer. So as you can see, it's steaming hot. I'm stirring in this mixture of extremely hot rhubarb with the sugar of the lemon and lots of elderflowers, and basically I'll give this a good old stir for 5 minutes and then let it cool down before covering it with my cling film at the top. You can use a tea towel if you like, but it needs to be covered and kept for 24 hours. Once your mixture has settled over 24 hours, and mine, I originally put a cloth over the top, dishcloth, and then I put some of this cling film, it's time to filter it. And here we have, I'm doing it into a large bowl, and below there you can see some of the gorgeous liquid. That's probably most of it. I've probably got about another quarter of that volume to go from what I've got left, so I'm filtering this through a muslin filter. I found that in order to filter the drink through, the rhubarb and elderflower lemon drink through, it was good to put it into a colander. Okay, it's a plastic colander, and then let it filter through the muslin into the container below. You can see that the just behind that, if you just lift that colander up slightly, you can see that's what I've filtered so far into this Pyrex container here. Looks very delicious, doesn't it? Nice summer drink. So once you finish making your rhubarb, elderflower and lemon drink, why not try it? It's been in the fridge now for about 2 days. Now that's not even diluted, it's very tangy. You could dilute this with a bit of fizzy water if you like, or still water, but beautiful, very tangy. Happy summer to you. Enjoy. At least someone's enjoying all the rain that we've been having recently in the garden.